Back in 2021, I started this YouTube channel and made a deal with myself that I would upgrade my equipment if I made it to 10,000 subs. I did cheat a little bit and upgrade my mic a little bit before that. I think that was when I hit around 3,000 subs. But to be fair, when I upgraded my mic, I'm pretty sure I flew from 3,000 to 6,000 within a span of a couple of months. Aside from that, I have been rocking the same equipment since the first video I made, which I think was uploaded either on March 31st or April 1st of 2021. That means everything that's been on my channel up to this point has been done on a ThinkPad W530. We're talking it's a souped up Intel Core i7 V Pro. Around 2019, my company was throwing out old laptops and I grabbed it and took it home with me. It was a little bit stronger because we do a lot of CAD work at my job, but I did upgrade it to a solid state drive, as well as added more RAM. So it's lasted, barely. But that's primarily because I basically don't use a PC for anything outside of my job. And if I've ever needed a PC for whatever reason, I usually just use my work computer. I also ended up buying a Surface Pro back in university. That's when the first Surface Pro came out. It was an innovation, so naturally that appealed to me, back when everybody thought it was just a fad and it wouldn't last. So naturally, I bought one day one, and I actually still have it somewhere, I just don't use it anymore. But that Surface Pro did carry me through undergrad and grad school, and basically was the primary computer that I'd use if I ever needed a computer, until I got that one from my job. But obviously, I wouldn't game on these things. Although they were pretty useful for emulation, but that was before I got my retro setup in my house. The point is that I have been very outdated when it comes to tech, specifically in the PC world. In fact, if you guys are wondering why I'm okay with such a weak Nintendo Switch 1 and why I don't care that the Switch 2 is 4K, that's probably why, because I think the Switch 1 might be the highest end tech in this house. Well, actually no, I do have a Series X, so maybe not really. Also, my phone is probably stronger, but you get the point. So I think I am just shy of 2 months since I hit 10,000 subscribers. The thing is, I have been so wrapped up in the Nintendo Switch 2 stuff, as well as like everything going on in my life, that I kept saying once I get some downtime, I need to get myself a PC because I would like to take my channel to the next level. For example, I can't stream with my current setup. I've tried a few times and it comes out blurry by the time it goes out to YouTube. Anytime I've ever turned on my video editing software, the software gives me a bunch of red flags that I just ignore and pray to the tech gods that it ends up rendering properly. Sometimes my editing time takes twice as long because I will like move a clip and watch the preview and the thing just like is laggy, and then I gotta close out of the program, turn it back on. Sometimes I gotta do a full reset, and God forbid the footage I have is more than like an hour long, because once I put that into the timeline, everything just goes to hell. The point is, I am clearly in need of an upgrade, and it's about time to do so. The problem is, I have no idea where to start. I've done a little bit of searching, watched a few videos, looked up a few subreddits. I've even asked a few friends for their suggestions. But I don't know, I'm overwhelmed. And like I said, it's largely because I've just been so worked up and distracted by the Nintendo Switch 2 stuff that I haven't had a chance to just really sit there and put my mind in focus. So number one, talking to you guys is going to help, because now I'm going to feel like I'm holding myself accountable here because I got to get something going soon. And number two, you guys seem like you know what you're talking about sometimes. So maybe if I just say what I'm looking for and what I'm trying to do, y'all can help me out. And if we're having fun, we can go through the whole thing together. Now, here's the issue, right? I don't mind spending the money if the money is worth it. So everybody always asks, what's the budget? The thing is, that budget varies depending on what I'm able to do. But I legitimately don't know what's realistic and what's not. I'm telling you guys, I'm very technologically dumb when it comes to this stuff. Like, let me give you an example. Let's say I go back to doing retrospectives. Every time I finish a retrospective video, if I want that thing to render, and I want it to render at the best quality that it can render at, I usually gotta walk away from my laptop for a few hours, basically meaning that I cannot use it for anything else. So like, I can't work on multiple videos at once. I can make all of the videos and then leave it running overnight and render multiple videos at a time. But let's say I'm working on it in the morning, I want the video to come out by 2 o'clock, I want to render it then and there. That means until the video is done rendering at 2 o'clock, I can't work on my computer. And by I can't work on my computer, I mean I can't work on another video. Is that the reality no matter how strong the PC is? Or is there a situation where the computer is strong enough where I can send it to the encoder and still use the editing program? Here's another one for you. Let's say I got a long video rendering, it's going to be rendering for a while, so I'd like to capture some footage for another game. Whether it's from my PC or from an Xbox or from my Switch, doesn't matter. I just need to get some footage. How strong does a computer need to be so that I can render a video and have that going in the background while I'm also capturing footage? Is that possible, or is that an unrealistic expectation? What I'm trying to say is I'm willing to spend the money for the efficiency. I just don't know how much money is required to be spent to get to that level of efficiency, or if there's like a balance. Like if what I'm asking for is going to cost me 10 grand, obviously I'm not insane. That's not what I'm thinking of doing. In my mind, I figured it's like a grand or 1,500, but again, somebody might come around and be like, no, that's minimum $2,500. And then at that point, at least I got a starting point. I can start weighing my options, look at the different types of ways I can build it. Actually, that brings me to my next point. I don't know if I'm supposed to build this thing or if I'm supposed to buy a ready-made one. I've seen that there are a lot that are ready-made and it's kind of good to go, but a lot of those are for gaming or for streaming, which I guess in fairness is what I'm looking for. And I might just be overthinking this, but I just feel like I want to get the best quality that I can get for the most reasonable price that I can get it. And you know, considering the fact that I didn't buy a Nintendo Switch 2, as well as all of the accessories and games that I was planning on buying, I got at least an extra $600 or $650 to work with here. So yeah, maybe you guys can help me out. Because I'll tell you what I'm sick of doing. I'm sick of having the same dumb background footage in every one of my videos. So if I upgrade my equipment, I'll probably end up upgrading the camera that I'm using, because that way, by the time I throw it into my laptop and render the video, I don't look choppy and snappy. Maybe on a random Friday night like this, I can be like, hey guys, we're gonna play some random game online and I'm gonna stream it. Who wants to join? And then you guys can join if you'd like. Or, you know, if there's like breaking news and I don't feel like making a full video on it and I just want to chit chat with you guys and hear your comments back and forth, I can actually go live and talk to you guys instead of living like it's 2004. The possibilities are endless. I tricked you guys. You guys thought that I was only doing retro games because I loved retro games. Nah, dude, it's because when I record the newer and high-end stuff, it looks like crap. Heck, when I record the old stuff, it looks like crap. But yeah, as far as this channel goes, I don't really know what I'm going to be talking about next. The Switch 2 has taken up so much of my time that it just kind of engulfed everything. Part of me has thought about making a video about the Rogue Ally. Part of me has also thought about just looking out general news that's going on in the gaming industry and tackling some of those talking points, because there is a lot going on. But part of me also feels like I just need to take a break from news for a second. Now, in saying that, I said that I need to take a break from Switch 2 news, and then I uploaded another Switch 2 video today, so I could be very well coming in tomorrow and being like, well, here's the Rogue Ally X. But the point is, I would like to have the options, and I don't want the tech to hold me back. If I want to do a retrospective, I should be able to do a retrospective without being like I gotta move 6 billion things around to make sure everything's hooked up right. If I want to jump on camera and talking to you guys, likewise. My office space is already set up. The only thing I am lacking right now is a strong computer, basically. I already have monitors, I have everything else that I need. So yeah, that's where we currently are. This doesn't necessarily mean I am shifting away from covering Nintendo news or Nintendo games, or that I'm gonna become like a PC game reviewer. I've kind of come to the point where I am not making promises about anything that I'm doing anymore because I realize that I just keep not following anything that I say. And I think it's because when something starts to excite me, I like to cover it, I like to talk about it a lot, but eventually I kind of just get bored and burn out and then just completely change gears. But it's normally temporary and I like to come back. And the thing is, it's not the making of the videos that gets boring for me. It's not even like the editing process that gets boring. It's just sometimes if I'm covering something long enough, eventually I'm just kind of like, I don't really want to talk about this anymore. And I think I've just hit that with the Switch 2 stuff, finally. Which makes sense now. We're a week removed from launch. We've gotten numbers from pretty much all of the regions. The records have been broken. I've said what I need to say. Now it's pretty much just a waiting game. So it's like, time to do something else. So if I'm building a PC, that's something else. That's gonna keep me very occupied. Whether that's for a day or for a month, I have no idea. But I don't know, if I find that it's fun for me to kind of go through what I've gone through and what I'm doing throughout the whole process, and I see that a bunch of people are enjoying that and it's drawing in attention, and there's a whole lot of fun back and forth in the comment sections, all of a sudden, that might be what my channel is doing for the next few weeks. Or, you know, this could just be a one-off video and tomorrow you'll get something normal. Either way, I wanted to make this video as kind of like an almost at 20,000 subscribers type of video. But I always dislike those milestone videos. I don't know why. Like, I don't enjoy listening to them, so why would I expect that other people would enjoy hearing mine? That's why I never did it for 1,000 or 5,000. Although it is funny because I think 1,000 took me 3 years, or right around that ballpark. And now, over the past year, or I guess 14-ish months, we've seen the other 19,000. I guess that's why they say the first 1,000 is the hardest. Come to think of it, I think I've had about 4 big bumps, followed by staggered, consistent growth. The first one was covering Donkey Kong Country 3, which was when I was around 100 subs, and that took me up to like 300. And then it was like steady growth for a while, up until I did a review on Tears of the Kingdom on the day that it came out. And that took me to just under 1,000, I think. And then it was like a solid year and a half of slow and steady growth up until I hit December, where I covered Mario 64. That was December of 2024. That shot me up from like 2,000 or 3,000 up to like, I think 6,000 or 7,000. Can't remember exact numbers. And then that's where most of the people listening came into it. I have a few people that were here before when I was covering Sonic and Mega Man. But prior to all the Switch 2 stuff, I was doing Mario retrospectives for a minute. That's when I started doing the daily videos too. So that saw me grow at a pretty steady rate as well. And then my first Switch 2 video really took off, and after that it's kind of just been like slow and consistent growth, but nothing to the extent of that first video. And I think that I'm not buying a Switch 2 video has taken me to almost 200,000 views, which is way ahead of almost every other video that I have. Although I think the piracy one might be up there as well. The point is, the way that it works with YouTube is that it's like, you'll just keep doing what you're doing and all of a sudden you'll do something else and that just like booms upwards. And it'll just level off, and then you find something else and that goes up, and so on and so forth. So I got a very big feeling it's going to be just a regular steady growth for a while for now. But as far as you guys are concerned, that shouldn't make a difference. I'll still be uploading videos every day or two. And as it always goes, as long as I'm having fun and you're having fun, we'll just keep doing this. Either way, that's all I got for tonight. Once again, thank you so much for listening, and I will catch you on the next one.